Intro music.
Come on in.
A star for the ages for Tony Gwynn, number 3,000.
They have acquired Eric Johnson and Fernando Tatis Jr. from the White Sox in exchange for James Shield.
Welcome to Slam Diego.
My name is James.
My name is Joey.
And this is the Brothers Padre.
James, we're back. And then episode 2 of 2022, we're going to have our very first sad pod.
Our first pity party with tea.
I literally have tea.
I know, that's what I said. You have tea right there.
Not really because of the pity party, because I like tea. James, we got to start with the top. Of course, Fernando Tatis Jr., you know him, very good baseball player, has fractured his wrist. He has fractured his wrist, and according to AJ Preller, will be out for 3 months. So 3 days after the lockout, the Padres have been hopes. I wouldn't say hopes have been dashed, but definitely our optimism is a little tempered.
I've discovered something about Fernando Tatis Jr.
What's
He
that?
is like the reverse Tom Brady.
Okay. Yeah.
Tom Brady, for the last couple of years, retires every year and then comes back triumphantly. Fernando Tatis every year comes back triumphantly, gets hurt. Every year. He's like...
He actually, the day he comes back from injury is his statistically best day.
Yeah.
He's incredible at it. So I'm excited for that day.
we need to make sure we are in that stadium that day.
So, yeah. So in the off season, according to sources, including Fernando Tatis Jr., he had a couple accidents. One was in a motorcycle that he said he felt a little bruised up, but did not feel injured. But since he's been starting to swing the bat, he's getting more and more injured, more and more hurt feeling in his wrist. And then on Monday, the Padres yesterday, gave him an x-ray and turned out that he had this issue. And it could require surgery, could not. Just going to depend on what the next step is. But it could be up to 3 months.
If he needs surgery, it's 3 months.
Yes.
So why don't they just fix his shoulder while they're at it, too?
While you're in there. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a real bummer. I don't know what else to say about this because I don't know. Just stinks.
It stinks because we're getting excited for a great season. Our pitching looks healthy.
Yep.
And our best offensive force is hurt again. Is this what the Yankees feel about Aaron Judge?
Must be.
It has to be. This is very like when he produces, there's nobody better, but he's hurt all the time. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very, very tough because for one, this is at some point you can be like, I get it. He plays the game very aggressive and he gets hurt playing the game. It's very like as a fan, you cheer for him to be aggressive, and so you get what you cheer for.
Yes.
I did not cheer for him to crash his bicycle.
Yeah, he's not a motocross Padre champion either.
Yeah. No. So I don't. It seems so avoidable, and now we have just like speculate how we're gonna do in the first months of the season. There's a lot of stuff that came out about it. I don't know how much we care about really. Preller mentioned, of course, he returned in 3 months. We mentioned that before. And location injury inhibits healing. And he predicted that a certain doctor said this, and he predicted that injury having set for so long without treatment means Tatis will need a bone graft. A bone graft, James.
I just don't understand how he doesn't have a doctor.
I guess so. I think I've read a couple times now that this is hard to diagnose, and it doesn't feel painful until you're doing certain motions.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then, like, for example, swinging a baseball bat aggressively. But yeah, it just stinks.
It really does stink because now our question marks were we need an outfielder and possibly a first baseman. Now it's like, oh, what are we going to do with shortstop? You know, that position that we have the best player in baseball at? What are we going to do with that position?
Yeah.
But I told you right before we started this podcast, several people have made this point. The Braves won the World Series without Acuna Jr. for the second half of the season.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, I mean, obviously we want to play all year, but if we had to pick which half of the season we wanted him in, imagine that approaching the trade deadline, who we're going to get for a big bat? Well, we have our biggest bat coming back from surgery. So he'll give us a boost towards the second half of the season. So, I mean, if you had to pick which half,
Yeah.
second half is better than the first half. I mean, the first half is better than the second half. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah. It sucks because I want to see the Padres be number one in our division all year. I'm really tired. I just want 1 year for us to show up and be, dominant all year. Just like close the door and just dominate.
Maybe.
We could still do it.
We could still do it, potentially. Tatis has pledged to the Padres that he'll no longer ride on motorcycles. He has given a renewed perspective on the obligations to organization, teammates, fans, and himself.
I just wish he would have come to this realization 4 months ago.
I said to myself, what would I do with... He hasn't earned all $340 million.
Exactly.
He's earned at least 10% of it, though. And because of signing bonuses. And I don't know, if I'm a 22-year-old with all that money, yeah, I'm riding motorcycles. I'm not really paying attention. I'm just... Yeah, it just stinks.
There's nothing about this situation that doesn't stink. And I believe our next topic is what are we going to do to replace him?
Yeah.
There has been numbers people throwing things around. What if we sign Carlos Correa to a one-year deal?
Gosh, get out of here with that. First off, we're not going to spend $45 million on 1 year of Correa.
Correct. And a guy that's proven to be more fragile than Tatis.
Right.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm very encouraged by all the reports about CJ Abrams.
Yes.
Coming out that it said he's bulkier. He's actually putting really good barrel rate on the ball, and that's all the problems that he had previously. He seemed to have been working on. So I'm really encouraged by that.
Because the big thing is now losing Tatis presents a problem. He led the National League in home runs, so we automatically lose a power part of our lineup, which we already needed more of.
Yes.
Defensively, we get better, but,
more consistent.
That's a better way of looking at it. And we have a DH, so we have some flexibility to fill it in because loyal listeners of our podcast know, but just to reiterate, the Padres currently have Jake Cronenworth, Ha-Sung Kim, and Manny Machado, who are all able to play shortstop.
All very good shortstops.
I suspect that Ha-Sung will take on a lot of the burden of that. And depending upon CJ Abrams, there's a world in which it's Manny, Kim, Abrams, and Cronenworth.
I think that's the ideal world.
Yeah. And Abrams also,
if CJ has a good spring.
Yeah, I mean, he still only played half a season at AA, which will remind the audience, Tatis is the same thing, and did very well. Abrams is a top ranked prospect in baseball for a reason, so he probably has the acumen to do it. But I guess how do we actually is that your infield? What, or is it something else?
As of right now, that's my infield.
Yeah.
I was encouraged by one thing. As many people know, the Braves traded for Matt Olson.
Bananas.
Which means the Athletics now need a first baseman.
Oh, is this where we're going to go this route? Okay.
And they also need a catcher.
Okay.
We have catchers galore and a first baseman.
Okay.
I'm just saying we could get 2 pitching prospects.
Yeah. It's just so with Tatis gone, I think realistically Abrams doesn't start the season with us. I think that's realistic. I don't, but only because I haven't seen him in the spring and he hasn't played for a while.
Yeah.
So realistically, I think the ideal defensive infield is Machado, Kim, Cronenworth, and Profar.
Yeah.
You and I have not mentioned the person we're dancing around.
The problem with Profar,
I think that person becomes a DH, but
I think so too. I think
he hits the ball in the air so much.
Yeah. The problem with Profar is he is a good player, but it just seems like the longer play time he has, the
worse.
worse it gets. Short burst Profar is great.
Mm-hmm.
He was really great coming off the bench and filling in every once in a while. But when he had consistent playing time, he just, for whatever reason, got tired. And that's not just me saying that. You could go look at his numbers. It proves it out. But yeah, I'd rather have Profar at first base. But then again, the first baseman whose name we have not mentioned because we promised to be nicer to him.
So much so we can't say his name.
Because maybe if we don't, maybe because we know he listens, we want you, maybe he'll just hear this like, you know what, I do need to earn my name back. You know? Remember, he did have a really good first month last year.
Yeah.
So much so he was our best hitter with runners in scoring position for half the year just because he had such a... He was hitting like, what, 700
He won NL Player of the Week.
Yeah. And that just, those stats was carried on for so many months. Towards the end of the season, it dropped off consistently, completely. Olympic ski slope fall off.
Yeah. You know, I was feeling sad today.
Now you're really sad.
But I turned on Joe Musgrove's final inning of no-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I came up with the ideal infield because Tatis wasn't playing, nor was Hosmer. It was Machado, Kim, Cronenworth, and...
You just said his name.
And Profar. No, Profar was the first
I know,
base.
but you just...
Oh, I did say his name. Yeah.
I believe he was the DH, though, that game.
He probably was, yeah.
He was a DH that game. So, yeah, that works.
I don't think I guess what I'm trying to go at, I don't think we have to trade to make up for Tatis.
I don't either.
I think
it would be foolish to trade to make up for Tatis. I think we still need to address the problems that we have.
Right. We'll go to that in a second. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we need... I think if we don't need to trade for Tatis to replace him, because like I said, halfway through the season, we're going to get a power bat back. That's just the same as getting a trade, but we don't have to lose a prospect.
I think we're also... What's so funny about how we're talking, we're assuming no one gets better from last year. Like,
That's true.
Isn't that funny? Like, we're immediately seeing that Trent Grisham doesn't get better.
Oh, here's the thing. This is why I'm not... I mean, I sound bummed because I love Tatis Jr.
Right.
I
mean, he's literally an MVP candidate. Like,
I've recently purchased a hat with his jumping in the air.
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
Of course. Yeah.
No, because, you know...
Yeah.
I'm almost 40. Why not? I like a 22-year-old. That's not... There is no way with Bob Melvin, with everybody that we've gotten, all of our new staff, our new hitting coach, our new hitting method, I am more encouraged and I think we're going to see an improved Grisham. We're going to see an improved Myers. I hope we see an improved first baseman. I just
Yeah.
The only thing that, like I said, we've talked about before, we do need another power bat somewhere.
Yeah. We were in the running for Nelson Cruz, but we were like, we're not giving a 42-year-old man 2 years. So Nationals did, though.
Nationals did do that, yeah. Yeah. That was a crazy deal. And the thing is, like, what are the Nationals doing? They traded all of their players away last year.
They're building around the Juan Soto machine.
I know, but
They have 2 years left of Juan Soto. They're going to milk it as much as they can.
they have no Juan Soto and Nelson Cruz are it. They don't have any pitching.
They have Patrick Corbin. What you're hearing is underwhelming. James is giving the most underwhelming face in the world. Like, oh, yeah.
I know. I forget we're not on television.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Josh Bell's fine.
He's fine. He's not.
He's their first baseman, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have high hopes. I don't think.
I don't get. Whatever. Nationals can do whatever they want.
Right.
I just wish they were in our division.
Yeah.
Because it seems like everybody in our division are actually trying to really care, except for the Rockies.
The Rockets are trying to sign Chris Bryant.
I know, I think Chris Bryant should do, because that will revitalize his career.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless the ownership changes, probably won't go that far in the playoffs. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean, his time in the playoffs is done if he goes to the Rockies. But, I don't know. Nick Castellanos is still out there.
yeah. So you're saying we don't need to pick up from
Power in the
from infield because we have the people we have. You're going to see improvements from Melvin and crew.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If somehow Freddie Freeman really wants to play for the Padres,
Yeah.
I won't say no to Freddie.
Yeah. I think that outfield and first base catcher are like the three spots we can improve offensively.
If Nola can be healthy for a
Right.
whole year, our catching position's fine. If Campazano can improve into AAA, our catching should be fine.
Yeah. The corner outfield spots can have power, and we can have a more powerful first base.
I know Tommy Pham is at our practice right now. He's not signed anything, but he's just at spring training right now with us. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Does he just like pay rent to be there?
He's at the ballpark. He's training with the guys.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. But again, I think last year we had so many problems with our training, with our coaching staff. I think that's all improved. Our pitching staff looks good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, oh, it's the best pitching staff ever like we did last year, but because they all broke. If our pitching staff can be healthy the way they're supposed to be,
Right.
we might not need a potent offense because we won't get if our
Right.
pitching staff can hold the other team to 3 runs a game, or lower. That's great.
Yeah. You're going to say list corner outfield people available. You have Nick Castellanos, Seiya Suzuki, who we've been rumored to be tied to, but looks like he's in no hurry to sign because why would he?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing.
Kyle Schwarber's still out there.
Kyle Schwarber's still out there. The thing is, we don't actually start playing spring training games until next week.
Right.
So this is the final week all these people that are up in the air about signing with other teams really have it until they start playing and start building chemistry. Right now, all they're doing is just stretching and knocking the dust off.
Right.
So as long as they're doing that in their own personal gyms, that's fine. I know. Suzuki,
It's a big question mark, though, right?
fair question mark, because he's a phenomenal hitter in Japan. And we've seen a lot of Japanese players come over and be phenomenal hitters here, but we've also seen several that have come over here and have not been.
Right. For sure. Different level of competition.
Yes.
I don't know. All I know is I need Preller to do something because I don't know if I'll accept this current team. I will, but it'd be a little rough, especially if that certain first baseman isn't traded. And there's a good chance he's not because it's such a bad contract to take on. He's not a contributing player. Yeah,
My problem with him is, one of my biggest problems with it is,
we held the facade of being nice to him for about 5 minutes, and then
he digressed in both fields. He's
Yeah.
not a good fielder, and he's not a good hitter anymore.
he's won multiple Gold Gloves.
But he was the worst defensive first baseman all Major League Baseball the last 2 years. So I don't know if it's his head game. I don't know what is causing it. Coach John Katera thinks it's a mental thing with him, that he needs to get in a good mental state to play in the field again. I can handle a decent, a sketchy hitter that can do good offense. Remember JT Snow?
Oh, yeah.
The guy, not the best hitter, but won 9 Gold Gloves.
Oh, yeah. A field like Jackie Bradley Jr. is another example of just
Yeah. And he's not a good enough hitter, and I don't know. That's my problem. Like, who knows? Maybe he got married in the offseason. Maybe he just like got his head straight and
Oh, yeah.
and
Nothing clears your head like matrimony.
I'm gonna tell your wife that you said that with the level of
Inside of Eric Hosmer, it's a good player.
yes.
The
I've
problem
never seen it as a Padre.
I have seen it for like a 2-week sprint. You remember in 2020 and even the beginning of last year, like he elevated the ball and like this, he's doing good stuff because he hits the crap out of the ball. He's always ranked in highly in hard hit rate. Just he's always on the ground. And so you just can't win that way. And he's just such a god awful defender. Like it's just so tough to like defend him and be like, I'm so thankful he's here because he's just so bad. Especially when we have 4 other better first basemen on our team.
Yes.
Profar, Myers,
Cronenworth.
I guess I have 3 other ones. Oh,
Well-
Caratini and Noah both also play first base.
Yeah, they both play
Probably
better
better
defensive
first
first baseman. He does, yeah. I'm sure Hassan Kim and Manny Machado can play first,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They're talented enough infielders that can do it all.
I want, if we could swing it, Hassel plus Hosmer plus way too much money, the Pirates for Brian Reynolds. That makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, the Robert Hassel third.
You have to you have to send a top prospect.
I know.
No one's just taking on that contract. $60 million over 3 years, or is it $80 million? I can't remember. A lot of millions of dollars.
He's $40 million the next 2 years. It's $22 million this year and next year for his last 2 years of his contract. So we'll have to probably also send $30 million
yeah,
over.
third or half of it has
Yeah.
to be. Yeah, not more.
Because really, Brian Reynolds is probably the best option because he's a phenomenal hitter, but he's under a low paying contract.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it makes you think if that's even possible. I don't know. Because it really, like, that solves the power bat situation. You feel like there's not a hole in the lineup as much. And, like, at this point in Padres, like, payroll, there's been... People are literally like, oh, we're not going to spend more money because we already spent too much money. Like, maybe you shouldn't have given Drew Pomeranz and Eric Hosmer, like, horrible contracts. You know? Drew Pomeranz, a 3-year deal as a relief pitcher for $15 million every year.
When he was on last year, he was dominant.
Oh yeah.
But he also was made out of glass.
Yeah. And that's to me, it's like, I hate that we're in this bind. We have to like penny pinch with the owners who would be like, oh, we got to get rid of some people to get new people. And we can go into this season and be okay where we're at.
We're still a competitive team where we're at.
Right. I just want to be so much better.
Yeah, because the problem is,
I don't want to like pray when a grounder hit the left side of the infield, not because anyone on the left side was going to catch it. It's whether the person can receive it at first base.
yeah,
Or when a pop-up is high in the air in a sunny day. I don't
or
want
a cloudy day,
Right.
or inside of a stadium.
I'm just done. I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm done praying for baseball players. I'm done praying.
And yeah.
Whenever
Take that, God. We're done praying for baseball. God's like, I wasn't listening to those prayers anyways. We could tell.
Yeah. I really, 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 really need something to happen for spring training, before opening day.
See,
I mean, it has to happen. We also don't have a closer. I mean,
we also have a closer. Bob Melvin, I think, was the biggest dose we got, and he might be Bob Melvin. Everybody that we've signed and is now in our back office and training staff, I think might be the answer to a lot of our questions from last year. I just really, I agree. I want some other piece either in our bullpen or in our lineup, because it seems like there are quite a few teams right now just selling all of their players.
right.
And there are also quite a few teams, oddly enough, the Dodgers haven't gotten any better.
Yeah.
Arguably the Giants have gotten a lot better.
Oh, yeah, they have.
And I mean, they need a catcher too, right?
True. We don't have Buster Posey anymore. Yeah. Giants aren't going to trade with us. That's pretty much. No NL West teams trade with each other.
That's true. Guess we've traded with Arizona before.
A long time ago. Like, this is how neurotic I am about wanting good news. I keep checking my phone throughout.
I know it's been irritating.
And I'm like, I want to reveal good news. And all I've been reading about is people being annoyed that we haven't had good news yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was such a bummer day today.
It really was.
I didn't really want to read about Tatis being injured, and then
you sent me that text, and we were talking about something else, and then you just said something. Oh, Tatis got hurt. I'm like, is that a joke?
No.
And you're like, no. I checked Twitter and went, oh. Well, of course. Why can't we be happy all the time?
Okay, James. We have been transported into a fun alternate reality. You automagically have become both GM and owner of the San Diego Padres.
Okay.
And you have been gifted one free acquisition. One free player that can be one free player that you can sign right now, that of all the things that we talked about. One free transaction or player.
They don't have to be a free agent?
No, it has to be the people we talked about. Like, what of all the things that we talked about, what would be like, we have to do that one thing? Or you would do that one thing?
It would be Brian Reynolds. It would be trading for Brian Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why. I would love Nick Castellanos. His flair, his everything would be awesome. His power bat is great. If you look at Castellanos and Reynolds' numbers, they're really almost identically even. Nick Castellanos had a few more home runs. Reynolds had a better on-base percentage and batting average. I would go with Reynolds because A, he's a better defender, and 2, he's a left-handed bat.
Yep.
I think having a lefty-righty power bat with Machado and him would be better. That's who I'd go after. It would be Brian Reynolds from the Pirates.
Proud of you.
Is that what you would say?
I'll trade Eric Hosmer for whatever.
Can of beans.
I don't give a crap what we get. Get him out of here.
I'm so tired of looking at him. Oh,
if I have to watch him ground into another double play in an important situation,
or not important situation, just hey, look, there's a runner at second. It's the second inning. We don't need to score now. Here's Joey.
So frustrating to me.
Let's play a hypothetical right now,
Yeah.
and we'll make a note.
I love
of this.
these games.
What happens if we do not get rid of Hosmer? Okay, and
Yeah.
he
I don't
has
like this world.
he
I'm
has
scared.
if he has a turnaround season,
Okay.
obviously not like a Hall of Fame type season, but a consistent. He's a good infielder again, and he has
Somehow.
a decent bat.
Right.
What will we do at the end of this season?
Nothing, because at that point he has 10 years of service time, and so he has full no trade clause by the union.
Oh. You've thought about this. Even if he hits 50 home runs this year and gives him the best first
No,
base
this is what's
ever.
going to happen. Like, our team's just going to like fall apart, again, and then Eric Hosmer's going to have a career year, and then everyone's going to be like, oh, but we're building it up. Eric Hosmer's finally back. The 10th year rolls around, and it's just going to be like 2019 or 2018, where it's just like, JK, I forgot how to exist as a player. Like, I forgot how to play my position well. Like, that's what I worry about. I have such low expectations for someone that's paid more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime. Isn't that the weirdest thing in the world? Like, he's a trained professional, and he's made a lot, and I'm like, I don't think you can do your job. And guess what? Numbers back that up.
Yeah.
You can't actually do your job well. And I feel bad for him. I don't think he wants to be terrible.
And can I say one thing out there? I know I've
Yeah.
said this a lot.
Yeah.
I said previous one. Fans of this podcast, if you're quit it with the Will Myers attacks. Will Myers, yes, he's overpaid, but he still produces.
He's
still,
an above average player. Not by much.
yeah, he was still a plus WAR player, and he still gives us competitive at bats, and he's a decent outfielder.
James, you want to know a little fun fact?
What's that?
Which outfielder in all of baseball last year had a perfect fielding percentage?
It was Will Myers.
Will Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, he destroyed racism. We talked about this before, right? He the North Carolina suit. It's him versus the racists, and he's a good man. He's a good man. Yeah, there is a better player in Will
You should
Myers.
probably tell that story fully.
No, you can look back on it. Okay. Will Myers, we made a bid up, James, where we said that Will Myers is being, this is not a joke. Will Myers is actually suing a country club in North Carolina, and they're counter-suing because rich people shit. Like, it's really, it's just,
It really is a funny story. Well, we haven't done it before. Maybe our next podcast we should
we'll revisit. And James and I thought it'd be funny if Will Myers was actually doing this because it was dismantling racism in North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. But ultimately, it's just rich people problems, and, it's pretty stupid.
We should do a follow-up on that at some point. But back to the problems.
There is a better baseline player in Will Myers than a better baseline player in Eric Hosmer.
I agree.
And Will Myers is cheaper.
Yes.
So I think now is a better chance that someone will want Myers over Hosmer.
I agree.
Yeah. Just stinks, man. I want to talk about like something cool.
Yep.
I want to be like, oh,
I agree. I absolutely agree that something cool has to happen. I'm checking Twitter now because
I want you to break something to me. You have to tell me what's going on.
let's see. Dennis Lynn has posted.
I want so badly for something to happen.
Fractured wrist, a couple of targets on board, ongoing pursuit. The Padres have at least. Yeah, just saying that we have 3.5 weeks to figure out what's going on.
Cool.
Great,
cool,
Dennis
cool,
Lynn.
Cool. That's not a...
So glad you wasted my time, Dennis Lynn.
Okay. We're going to be positive from henceforth.
Yeah.
We're going to look forward. Like, we'll have more podcasts, and we'll get over this hump. We're Padres fans. We always get over humps.
Yeah.
I mean, if you zoom out far enough, you realize we're not actually going over them. We're just like going down slowly.
You know what I realized?
What?
How great is it to be a Seattle Mariners fan right now?
Oh, right now you must feel ecstatic. Jerry DePota's plan finally hit. They got Robbie Ray, Eugenio Suarez, Jesse Winker. Yeah, and they already have great people. Mitch Haniger, Kyle Lewis. They have
several former Padres. Yeah,
yeah. Ty France is over there. Adam Frazier. Yeah, good for Seattle. They're. I commiserate with them because they're the only franchise more miserable than the Padres.
Yes.
There's only one, and it's the Seattle Mariners. So. Yeah, I bet Seattle Mariners fans are stoked for this season. You know, Houston Astros don't seem to be that terrifying.
No.
So.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the Mariners have that division in the bag.
Yeah, we'll see. Don't count out the Angels, man.
Yeah.
And their two pitchers.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But James, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah.
We'll be doing podcasts about looking forward to our roster.
We just, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
This episode.
As you ruined my outro. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, you know what? It's not always about you, Joey.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe if it was, we wouldn't be so disappointed.
This episode was simply for us to vent on a miserable day.
Yeah, I thought I didn't really want to make this podcast. Not as badly as the end of last year's. Those episodes were pretty terrible to make.
Yes.
But this one was like, you just have to talk about it. And we just have to share our frustrations with Tatis.
So we hope you listeners out there have listened and able to vent a little bit of your frustration out by hearing us. Yeah, that's all this was. This was just therapy.
Cheaper than therapy, too.
Yes, that's true. A lot of the price of gas these days. I had to drive here.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
We do might be 5 minutes away, though, so we don't live that far away.
That's true.
James, we're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Thank you for all the subscribers, all the love you've been showing us on YouTube and Spotify. We're on Twitter at Brothers Padre. And James, until next time, go Padres.
And there it is! Oh, doctor! You can hang a star on that